Hello everyone, and welcome back to Vintage Story. My name is Kurzar, and we have a problem. No, it's not that it's raining, but it is, in fact, still raining. No, we have a different problem. We have exactly no food in our inventory, and we have no food in either of these baskets, except for some berry bushes, but they don't have any berries on them right now. So we need to get this food problem sorted out because we're going to starve in about, 4 hours or so. We're going to do a couple things first. So we're going to grab these berry bushes and we're going to lay them out on the ground around us. These bushes will not give us berries very quickly. It'll take about 8 days for berries, but it's something. It'll keep us, it'll give us something to look forward to at the very least. Let's go ahead and do that now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cranberry bushes. Oh, that's blueberry bushes. 7 blueberry bushes, and we have 20 cranberry bushes. Not my favorite, but hey, it'll do. Oh, and one more. Okay, we're gonna just beat this piece of dirt out of the way and drop you there. Now, berry bushes have a certain weakness, which is that, in addition to their 8-day timer, they are vulnerable to attacks by those wascally raccoons. Raccoons really love berries, and so they will go after them whenever they see them ripened on bushes nearby. So we'll have to keep an eye out for those guys. We have another problem that's creeping up on us, and that is it's becoming dark. So we may have to figure out some way of surviving the night without a whole lot of extra food, although I do see some berry bushes over here. What have we got? More cranberry bushes. Garbage tier food right here, guys. Garbage tier food. And not even any food. Except for what? 3 berries? 2 berries. 4 berries. Oh boy, we're gonna hurt this evening. We're gonna wake up with very empty, growly stomachs. Some spelt here. I'll grab some seeds if we can. But this isn't gonna give us any food to eat because this is all very immature spelt. 2 seeds and nothing to eat. Okay. Well, we are going to have to maybe rely on a few roots from these Cooper's reeds we may have to dig up, or we may have to just subside on berries and hope for the best. Let's go ahead and eat those now, clear out our inventory. And in the meantime, we will then go and drop these bushes down so that they can start hopefully making progress upon growing us some berries. Now when these berries grow, if we were to harvest all of them at once, we might get, I don't know, a day or so worth of food out of all these combined. So they'll be good for emergency rations in the long run, but they are kind of weak food. So the second issue we're having is lighting, and in the first episode we had a bit of an issue in that little dirt coffin I made, where I couldn't see anything, and neither could you probably. So we're going to take care of that a little bit here. We're going to get some materials to make some torches. The torches are sticks and I believe dry grass. Yes, this is a new recipe. And we'll make 10 torches. Now the torches are unlit and we need to light them. So we have a couple options. We can either toss them in the fire after we light the fire back up. Oh, and the fire is too cold to light. Okay. So we're going to have to get our fire starter out again, and we're going to have to crouch and furiously rub these sticks together. There we go. So we have some light for our immediate area for the next 20 seconds. And once this torch gets to 300 degrees, it will turn into a lit torch. It says it burns for 48 hours. Now, in previous versions, that was specifically the time it burns when placed on the ground. I don't know if that's changed. If it has, it would be very unfortunate. But for now, we have a lit torch. And the torch will provide light wherever we go in our hands, similar to Optifine in certain knockoff games. That definitely didn't come first. Now, torches, like I said, you can hold them in your hand, or you can place them on the ground. We're going to place one down here under this awning, and we're going to take our other torches, and we're going to go ahead and light them up. If I crouch, no, Oh, we have to grab this torch, and then we can place these torches down, and we can then light them with our already lit torch. Now, torches do suffer the same issues that campfires do, as we saw in the last episode, which is why I'm putting them under this awning here. Because if I place one out in the rain, like so, and wait a little bit, and there we go, it went out pretty quickly. The same will happen if I throw it in water. Out it goes. And if I'm carrying one and I fall in water, it will also go out. So if we hop in here and I swim out this direction and I sink down into the water, it goes out. And the problem you'll find is that if you're carrying a stack of lit torches, they will all go out. And that can be a very unfortunate mistake to make, especially at night when you're trying to run from drifters or angry rams or other creatures that are following you through the night. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to light all these up and get ourselves a good solid start on some basic lighting. Because of this issue with water, I like to keep all of my torches in my inventory, and I keep one in my hand. And it looks like, since there's no spoil timer on these torches, it looks like they're going to stay lit in my inventory forever, because apparently my backpack is made of asbestos, and that means that we can place them down, and most likely they will stay lit for 48 hours unless we break them and place them back, which will reset their timer. But if I keep my main set of torches in my inventory and I keep one torch in my offhand, then at worst, if I drop into water or I place this in the rain and forget about it, then I will still have a full stack of torches minus one to play with. So it is currently 10 o'clock at night, and I'm going to draw some attention to a couple mods we have installed, because it's a little early for us to be going to bed. If we go to bed now, we'll wake up at 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, because this bed lets us sleep for 7 hours, although I think the timer is a little bit off on that sometimes. So in the upper left-hand corner, up in here, you'll see we have a little display of the current date, the temperature, and the time. And this is a little mod called HUD Clock, and I like to have it on because, one, it'll tell me, the current time, and two, it'll help keep me honest here in that you can see the date and tell how long I've been playing for. Another mod I have on is called carry capacity. Now, this ground storage in the vanilla game, you normally can't interact with it aside from opening basket, taking things from it, adding to it, and so on. Carry capacity is a little mod that if you crouch and hold right click, you get that little circle and you can carry a full container around. You'll notice it slows me down when I'm carrying this container, and it requires that both my hands be empty. And if I then look at the ground again and right click, it will place it back or place it wherever I want to put it. I also have the option to look at the sky or any time that I'm not targeting a block and do the same thing, crouch and right click. When I do that, it becomes an extra backpack. Now, this backpack is not accessible while I am walking around. I have to actually place it down again. And that can be done by, once again, with both hands empty, crouching, holding right click, and taking the basket back into my hands, placing it back on the ground, and interacting with it from there. Reed baskets are unique in this regard in certain respects, because other storage vessels that you carry on your back or carry in your hands will incur both a movement speed and a hunger penalty, whereas just the baskets will not. So when we get to having larger storage containers, that'll be a concern, but for now, we're okay. So it is about time when we could go ahead and rest, but if we rest, we're going to starve because our hunger timer, our hunger bar will continue to go down while we're resting. So I think we need to go and get us a few of these Cooper's reeds. I don't really like doing this because these don't grow back when you eat them, but it looks like we have little other choice, so we're going to do just that. And like that, we have 5 cattail reeds. We're going to go ahead and throw them in the fire pit here. We'll load this up with a couple of pieces of firewood. And now that we have torches, we don't need to use this fiddly little fire starter. We can just swap hands with this torch and hold right click on the fire. And just like that, we now have a lit fire. And we'll go ahead and wait for this to cook. That took entirely too long to cook 5 cattail roots. We have some emergency rations. We're going to go ahead and eat them now. And that is barely going to fill us up at all. And now that it is almost 2 in the morning, we're going to go ahead and sleep. As you see in the bottom right hand corner here, our food goes down while we sleep. And we're very hungry. Okay, oh, it stopped raining. Oh my goodness. Thank heavens it stopped raining. Let's get a move on. We need to get some food, and we need food now. Tell you what, let's go and find something to hunt with our spears, because they deal a good bit of damage. And I spy a rabbit right over there. We're going to make a little pillar here to get a better view. Where'd he go? I don't see him in the grass, but I do spy a sleeping boar right there. And I missed. There it is. And we missed it again. Brilliant. Oh my. Let's go get those spears and finish this guy off. Uh-oh, he's getting away. Down he goes. Okay. We have our first big, decent meal, finally. Okay. Let's get down here and harvest you. Now, boar and animals larger than hares will give you not just rawhide and meat and decent amounts of it, but also sometimes fat and definitely bones. Bones are not of a whole lot of use to us right now, although we can make handles for tools, and if we use that instead of wood, the tools will last a little bit longer. But bones are better saved and ground out into bone meal later. The fat we can use either as an emergency food source, an emergency fuel source, or if we save it, which I think we're going to do in the empty basket, we can turn those into lamps later that give off not a whole lot of light, but they're a permanent light source that won't go out in the rain. And we are hungry, so we're going to go ahead and cook all this food up right now. And while that's cooking, we're going to take a quick wander around this way because I spy a few light green reeds standing among the grass. That generally means that there's some kind of crop there that we can maybe harvest. It might give us something to eat in the meantime while we're waiting for that meat to cook. And it is flax. Flax is terrific, except right now it is not terrific at all, actually. Flax is a very essential plant in Vintage Story. We got no seeds there. Because flax allows you to make string and cloth. And cloth is used for a lot of things, from armor to windmill blades to clothing and repairing clothing. And lucky us, we just found some more berry bushes over here that might help stave off starvation for a few minutes. Which is really all we need. And I'm just going to take the berries and leave the bushes here for now. Because I don't have a lot of inventory space, and I don't think we're going to be here for very long. I don't like this area because of the rain, and the strange water, and not a lot of great soil around here either. And look what we have here. This is an interesting one. I've been playing in a southerly location on a server recently, and I don't see much of this anymore down there. This is peat. Peat presents as a type of soil, although you really can't grow anything in it. And when you harvest it, you don't get a block of soil. Instead, you get a couple blocks of peat. Now, our inventory is, again, very full, so I'm going to leave it where it is. But I'm going to take note of where this is, and bring up my map with M, and right-click here and type peat. I'm going to do brown, and I'm going to use this symbol. Peat burns a little hotter than regular firewood does, and I think it burns a little longer. I think it's like 30 seconds rather than 24, but I could be wrong about that. We'll come back to peat later. I'm just going to grab these flax seeds for now. And now that we have some raspberries to tide us over while our meat finishes cooking, I'm going to head back to our little base and check on that meat. But on the way back to our little home, I did spot this patch of fire clay. Fire clay is a very useful resource, as pretty much every resource in Vintage Story is useful, in that you can dig it up and you can turn it into clay objects. It's also used later in the game for certain structures that let you fire various metals and glass. But for now, we're going to take a little bit of it because I think I want to make a bowl to make some better meals after I grab these stones. Do I still have that shovel? Yes, I do. Let's grab, I don't know, 20 or so. You know, see, the clay actually digs even slower than the dirt. Several seconds, almost 2 or 3 seconds, whereas the dirt comes up pretty quickly. 28, perfect. Let's run back to our base and check on that meat. I can smell it from here. And looks like our fire went out, but it's still hot enough to light up when we put a single piece of firewood in. And we have 7 cooked red meat. They give us 280 saturation, and they'll be good for 5 days in our inventory. As far as saturation goes, your meter represents 1500 saturation, with each little pip along there representing 100 saturation. It'll go down slowly while you're standing still. I believe the rate is at 1/4 of the normal rate when you're standing still. But every action from walking to running to jumping to attacking to throwing things all consumes saturation at a greater rate than just standing still or just walking. Here we go. Okay, we have some food. The next item we want to cover would be more foraging. I know I said we want to stay out of the forest, but I see some trees here that they're not too close together. It gives us a pretty good view, so we should be able to see any wolves if they're nearby. But trees and the area around trees are a great place to find mushrooms. Let's see if we can find any. Oh, we have more berries here at least. And no room to hold them. Well, we'll leave them here for now. Well, as it turns out, the mushrooms were a complete bust. I did not find a single one. I did find a few more sticks, which we're going to need. And I did find a small patch of wild rye growing, and I got 11 pieces of rye grain. We're going to go ahead and we're going to squirrel those away in our storage system, insofar as it could be called a system. And we're going to move on to another topic, which is getting some basic shelter going. We have a little plus-shaped awning here made of dirt, and I can't even jump under it, and I can't even walk out over top of the bed from it. So we're going to get together a little bit of a house, if we can, and we're going to take a look at some of the materials available to us in the early game. Our first option, of course, is wood. Now, at present, we can only use wood logs, like the full blocks, because we don't have a saw yet. So we can't turn those logs into planks to make anything else out of. But we can use the wood as a very solid, if flammable, starting material. I want to go ahead and take this tree down, try to get a few more seeds from it, and we'll see how much wood we get out of this. And finally, that took freaking long enough. But it looks like we got a few seeds out of the deal. Here in my inventory, they're kind of hard to spot, so I'm going to throw on the ground there. This is a birch tree seed. And this is actually one of the more noticeable seeds to spot lying on the ground. Some trees have much smaller seeds, others have ones that blend in with the grass around them. So keep your eye out when you're cutting tree leaves down to make sure you pick up all the seeds if you're looking for them. Now, where is my house? Ooh, I've been eating too much meat. That was bad. I'm going to go ahead and make a little marker right here. Temp home. Make it cyan so we can't possibly miss it. Make it a house, and we're going to save. So now that we have cut this tree down, we have 14 birch logs. The unfortunate thing is that 14 logs doesn't really get us a whole lot of building material. We can make a 2x7 wall. We could make maybe a room exactly this large with 2 pieces left over. It's not much to work with. It also takes forever to cut these things down with a flint axe. So we could spend a while going around and chopping trees down, or we could just dig up some materials to work with. We can use dirt. The dirt is kind of ugly, and it does let grass grow on it, so if we have a dirt roof, it's going to look really horrendous. We can take any kind of soil and turn it into packed dirt, or we could. There we go. And packed dirt is nice in that it will not allow grass to grow, so you always have this sort of neutral earth tone to work with, which isn't bad, but that's only compared to other dirt blocks. We do have access to clay. Where did I put that clay? There it is. We have access to clay, and we have that dirt, and we have access to plenty of grass, and we even have sand. We can make mud brick, and maybe light mud brick by using sand. So by using 8 pieces of dry grass in the corners, 8 pieces of clay on either side, and a block of dirt and a block of sand, we will get 4 blocks of light mud brick. Or if we omit the sand, we can get dark mud brick. Oh, that's even cheaper on the clay too. And we can also make dark mud brick slabs for making shorter steps up. So I think we are going to go and relieve that clay deposit of some of its clay, maybe take up a little bit of the sand from these slate beaches here, and we'll come back and grab some more grass, and we'll put together some mud brick blocks. And what a night of work that was. I went through the last of our shovel, 2 more shovels, and a couple knives because I realized that we were really short on storage space and I needed more. So I made us 2 more reed baskets after giving these cattail reeds a bit of a shave, and went out and I dug up some dirt to flatten this out here. I dug up the sand that I have in my hand right now, and I went and dug out several stacks of that yummy fire clay over there. And this is what we got. So we have 2 stacks and change of shale sand. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, over 4.5 stacks of fire clay. And in, I believe, here we go, this basket, I have about half a stack of soil. So let's go ahead and craft us up some mud brick. And that gets us 28 light mud brick. And I made 1 set of dark mud brick slabs so we can have a little step up into our house if we want to. I flattened this area right here because I thought I wanted to build just a little hut right about here. It'll give us some good visibility of the terrain around us, it'll have easy access to these reeds, and it'll be a good little starting base. I'm thinking we want to go really tiny, maybe as small as 4x4, but I'm thinking 5x5, which means we're going to need some more mud brick, which means we're going to need more grass, but there's no shortage of that around here either. So let's get building. And there is our new home. Ain't she a beaut? It's got 4 walls and absolutely no door. Now, it used to be that in the early game, your door was typically either a couple blocks of soil or a couple blocks of hay bales, which we used to make our bed. However, in version 1.15, I think it was, they added new crude doors, which are made, here we go, rough wooden door with some sticks, some logs, and an axe. Let's go ahead and make one and fit it into our door frame. So we have what looked like 2 logs, we have our axe here, and we have sticks galore. Okay, so sticks, logs, and axe. And we have a rough wooden door. Now these rough wooden doors have a bit of a downside in that they have a chance of breaking every time you use them. And I think it's about 10%, so this could even break the first time we open it. And it broke. Perfect. At least we get it back to place again. So there you have it. We now have a door. And you're probably wondering why I left these windows open. Well, that's because back over where we came from, where we found that horsetail in the first episode, I was wandering in my search for mushrooms and I stumbled across some quartz. And I marked it on my map with a white pickaxe icon. Now quartz has a... Oops, and there we go, I just doused my torch. Now quartz has several uses, but the main one we're interested in right now is windows. So let's break some of these quartz bits up that I found, quartz and shale, and see if we get any of the clear quartz, which is what we're interested in right now. I think that's it. Oh, no, there's one more right here. And it's not clear quartz. Oh well. But we got 6 clear quartz. I think we can work with this. Let's see if we can go make some windows. So windows, or basic windows, can be made with just glass. So we're going to make some glass. And if we look down here at quartz glass, all we need is 2 clear quartz pieces and a stick. And we'll get, I think, 1 or 2 of these quartz glass blocks. Let's go ahead and make some. Looks like we only get 1. So we're going to need to be a little conservative with our placement of these. I realize I left 2 blocks on each side here. I think we're going to downsize these to 1. 1 and 1. And we're going to fill in these with the mud brick. And now we have a safe enclosure that will keep us safe from wolves, from drifters outside, and if we happen to anger any of the sheep or pigs around here, we can run inside here, close the door, and hopefully they will leave us alone. Anyway, that is all we have time for today, so I'm going to leave you all standing here in front of our new home. My name is ums-and-uhs, and thank you for stopping by. I'll see you in the next one.